So, hello there and welcome. We're back here again. I thought we could do another art jam. It's a little bit late, but I'll see if I can get a good 2 hours in or something like that if we can get it. Okay. So this is just a free draw paint sketch art jam. You can paint whatever. And oh, I don't know, something about my video just kind of bugged out. Then I'll keep an eye on that. I might have to restart if it keeps doing that. Okay then. I didn't really have much ideas of what to paint tonight. I wanted to truly do just some sketching and just some just painting whatever we find fun, you know. So I'm just gonna draw some random stuff or paint some random stuff. I should start in the middle. I learned this lesson the time before actually. I'm gonna be doing I really want to start on some blocky forms because I haven't done that in a little while. The only thing is I won't end up really using them in much final illustrations because they're not what is it? They're not fantasy illustration enough, you know. Oh, maybe that's a bit of a mistake there. Underestimated how deep the chin should be. We've had 2 people join pretty much instantly on this free draw paint sketch. So not sure if these are people that we've painted with last time or what have you. They definitely seem to notice very quickly. One of them said hello in chat. I don't think I'll say much more than that though, to be honest. Keep the painting going. Now I've had this Easter Island head that I'm painting. I don't like it, you know. I actually don't like it. No, I want it tilted up just a little bit more, you see, like this. Oh, way better. Yeah, more like that. There you go. Looks a bit more organic. I wanted it to be a bit more on the organic side as well. A bit more like, you know, Crichton from Red Dwarf or something like that. Get that nose in there. I think I'm going to leave it at that level of detail. I do like the to chisel a bit of a triangle off the edges sometimes though, and I think I'll go for that. You can even do the same on the nose and it will actually make the nose look a bit more realistic as well. It's interesting that is that kind of chisel approach. Alright. We're going to make this painting worth its size then and actually fill it in. Fill it in with some paint. And we're just going to go... I'm going to go slightly tan. It's kind of like a casting, I guess. Yeah, I think that's right actually for this side of the form. A little bit brighter for the area in between, right on the forehead. Really, I love painting in. I love the feeling of painting in clay, and I feel like the values we've chosen here and the method really does feel like painting clay as well. So it's extra satisfying, this painting is. So somewhere in between those two for these chips, of course. I think maybe a bit brighter and maybe even a bit more saturated even. Oh, I do wish that the color picker was just a little bit larger on this Magma software, because the size it is, it'd be quite difficult to kind of make a really small adjustment. You see, we've just coloured planes in so far. We haven't even cast any shadows. We've just said, you know, which way is the plane facing? Is it facing, you know, that way, or that way? That's it. That's all we've thought about so far. But now, I'm gonna grab this. I might just make it a little bit darker, just so I can kind of differentiate it. And I'm gonna cast some shadows. I don't really like that. It's gonna be something like this, isn't it? Just need to cast one under the nose as well. I don't know. Is this side in shadow? That's the question. I think it is. I don't know. Let me try it with the shadow kind of evened out. I think I ended up with something that was just a little bit too dark, maybe. Something more like that. And then we can reintroduce that darkness as a occlusion, a bit like this. It's starting to look very strange indeed, isn't it? But like I said, we're just going to paint whatever our heart's content today. We're going to just paint random stuff. We're basically going to doodle. Just check something. Oh, well, that's my Fences subscription. Sorry, I don't know why that popped up. Very inopportune time. But yeah, I might make this into like an actual lump of clay, and we can do like all the wrinkles in it maybe. Would that be a fun thing to do? I'll do a bit of an exaggerated kind of character, you know. It'd be a bit like one of those meme faces. I'm not sure what they're called. And then maybe we'll try and paint something else. Maybe something in one of the universities that we usually kind of paint pictures from. Been listening to George Orwell today. It's been brought up so much in modern times, and I had no idea what it is, and still don't really. But I got through most of the book, 1986 or 84 or something like that. Interesting read. Maybe I should paint some stuff. Some of the imaginations, the images that listening to that book is kind of conjured up in my head. I don't know. Maybe that could be something we go for on here. You know. Not sure how the copyright and stuff like that. I try to avoid painting any sort of pre-existing property or anything like that on my channel, just in case, you know. And we're quite capable of making our own, you know, imaginary worlds or what have you. Should we try this blur brush then? This corner of the head, see how it does. It did just fine. I think for doing it in the borders like that, it can work. Although it's maybe not quite soft enough sometimes. What is it made like? I don't know if that's visible on the stream, but what is this harsh line that it's made through it? Why has it done that? Isn't that strange? What? I don't know. I don't know what that is. This blur brush is very strange indeed. Right, I got it to behave. It looks like an angry cube, kind of. Something about crickets and don't know, but it's nice writing at least. A really nice cartoon of the face too. This guy is doing something. Yeah, he's going in. He's doing the Loomis method. Going for it, fair play. And that bit of design right there is, I really like that. It's a really nice, some really nice draftsmanship there on that sketch of the machine mask type thing. It's really cool. That man, there's so much talent on here. It's crazy. It shows how big the real, pool of talent is on for the market of digital artists. There's a whole generation of people now that have been used to digital art from the time when they was kids. I mean, I probably got my first. I'm not really in that generation, but I got my first tablet. I don't know when I was maybe 11 or 12, so not far off. Get some more of this high saturation in on the corners. I just like it. Should we give him that sort of vein that you can have in your forehead, I even get this vein. It's terrible. It's a bit like that. I'll just show you what I've ended up drawing. I shouldn't have came with maybe a stronger game plan. I didn't. Definitely shouldn't have. This is something that didn't need to be seen, Oh my god. It's just like an angry clay face. I don't know what it is. Doesn't look happy either way though. I feel like this corner's getting out of control. Yeah, something more like that. I don't know. Should it be something more like that? Maybe. Oh. Yeah, there you go, look. Gotta get the chin just right. Maybe this can be some sort of, it looks a bit like an evil villain from some 80s cartoon or something to me. Some real character to it though, so. I'm just gonna try to keep growing that. Give him some eyelids maybe. Possibly he deserves some ears as well. Ears are so easy once you get the just this kind of pattern of down. They're so organic, and even like in real life, people's ears don't match each other perfectly. So I feel like you can sometimes get away with quite a lot, really. I feel like he needs a bit more of a Terminator right here. And It needs more interest, like in the lighting, like a bit of a secondary light. Should be right here. Highlighting the edge of the ear and stuff like that. Maybe even the bottom of the jaw. Yeah, today's definitely a little bit different. Not painting something just completely new. We've been painting our space stuff for a long time now, you know. Which we shall return to at some point. What I want to do is put this guy in a spacesuit, like a red spacesuit, maybe. I was just saying there, how we're not painting a space thing. This is still going to be a space. I don't know. I feel like I want to put him in a spacesuit as if he's some kind of space alien that's like angry. This is more like 80s space than the retro futuristic space that we normally paint. It's a different flavour, okay? You can get away with it. Just trying to build his neck. You know, we've still got so much dark. We've still got so much to cover to reach the value of black. Honestly. Something like that. Maybe might do it. Maybe just show the other nostril off with that too. Nice. Should we do some highlights as well? Look, make it pop, you know. I think a little bit of a something like that. I might want to soften that just a bit. Should one be there? I mean, it is kind of in the shadow. I think it should be a lot more like that. Just for the blue, you know. There should be one right here where these veins join. Kind of like that. This is ridiculous. We're gonna have to move on to something else soon. I didn't want to do any like really long paints tonight. I just wanted to do a few like just a few little doodles, like I said. Yeah, we'll wrap this one up. We'll finish it up and wrap it up. We'll do my space soon another time maybe. I'm gonna get rid of this because it's just a bit too high contrast. And I don't think it's very easy to read anyway. And this was gonna be just like a cube of clay. I don't know what it's become now. I really don't. This is like the painting of a madman. I'm just gonna, you know what? Wait, no. We'll leave his head. We'll leave his head. We'll leave it. He gets to keep it for now. But I could just turn it into like I think it did need that though. That erasure that I just did there to match this side. I'm gonna call this one done in a second because I was just shaking the rust off. Alright, I was just shaking the rust off. Completely normal subject to paint. Okay. Just using this smooth brush just a little bit. Sometimes it's useful. sometimes. I feel like that should be more of a right there. More of a highlight. Maybe right there too. Right, then I'm done painting this strange portrait. Honestly, not sure what I was going for with that. And I apologise for it. Let me just finish the eye. Reminds me a bit of like in Egypt, the old emperors and what have you. What are they called? Can't remember. But yeah, like the hats. Some of the ancient stuff. Right, let's just pretend that one didn't happen. Okay. Not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can draw some inspiration from the others. I like this kind of this robot thing. Maybe we can try some kind of robot. Should I do a robot? It's a bit like that, a bit inspired by that. I don't know why the robot's got horns. Oh, this is going to be quite cool actually. I'm going to go with something of like a robot. Kind of a giant robot. You know what, instead of robot, I'm just going to go for a bug, I think. Or should I go for a robot bug? I don't know. I'm going quite calligraphic with it in inspiration of our guys. Drawing on the bottom right. As is a little bit more organic, a little bit more, well, that's scruffy, I suppose I would say. It's not quite as soupy, but there's pros and cons to every method. I like this for really building the idea. Just meshes with my style well. Yeah, it's kind of like some kind of bug, I suppose. But is it robotic? Yeah, we'll keep it robotic. Let's go. Let's do it. Or I don't know, maybe we'll keep it unclear. I've got kind of an idea of an image for it. So let's just see if we can pull it off, I guess. I want kind of porcelain-like materials, kind of like kind of shiny maybe. But develop it as we go along. I'm gonna try and speed paint it because I want to get like, you know, a couple of drawings done today and see what we got going. We need a colour to complement the blue. We go with deep red? I don't think so. I don't think we can get away with that. I think, yeah, I think blue and purple are going to work the best, honestly. Okay, we want maybe some darker blue for the main body of the thing. Try not to erase too much of the data that we need, like the arms themselves. Why did I just see like 20 layers get made? I haven't really messed with this, the setting. Maybe I should have a double check on. I like this up here. There's quite a nice dimensionality to it. They're the ones who started with the Loomis head as well, so it's no surprise. Quite a few people here. So I think a couple of people are just watching, I think. So there's 7 people here right now. Maybe 4 drawing. I think the arms should be the same same sort of bright blue as the head. It's like a bit of a moving component, isn't it? Something like that. Don't know what to put as the material in between right here. I suppose it's going to be purple again. I think this purple's going to be sort of like a rubber, you know, like a flexible material to go in between joints. Don't know how to do this segment here. Maybe something like that. We can just have it fade out of detail there anyway. I might make it a bit smaller. Something like that. Make it a bit easier to finish it in a timely manner. Okay. Here's where we do the detailed stuff. Here's where the fun part starts. That was pretty much just filling in what you know, what was there, but now we're gonna go in and you know, that was just us filling in the colours basically. It was the tedious part really. Now we're gonna go in and realise it all. Give it some complexity, you know. We've got the design done now. It's not looking too bad. It is indeed some kind of robot bug. I'm gonna just do a swipe over his eye as well. Just noticed it's kind of like yeah, it's too much contrast right there. Okay. Sneak some highlights onto this. Wow, we've got plenty of space for highlights. Highlights just make everything look so much you know, so much more incredible, even though they do, you know, even though they're almost a random thing that you just kind of scatter in here and there. I mean, they're just the amount of effects that they have. It's insane. The cheapest you know, way to really make a drawing look nice. Add a bit of a harsh light up there, I feel like. It just sort of belongs. Struggling to figure out what highlights would be on his main sort of body area. This is why you gotta just love speed painting in digital. It's just so powerful. I just realised I hadn't changed the title yet. There you go. Alright. I think that should be the streams named correctly now. Minecraft Villages, as you know. Brilliant. I feel like this needs some dealy boppers. To completely, you know, make it into the realm of the bug robot, you know, needs the feelers. I did it to myself. Made my tool the colour picker permanently. I'm gonna try and use the blur brush a little bit. Oh. Yeah. I mean, please. Tell me I've got it wrong, man. Tell me I've messed this up somewhere, and it's me. This is not blur. This is not how a blur brush is supposed to feel. I don't know. I'll try and get it to. I'll just use it lightly because it is still kind of possibly useful there. It does drag a little bit. Paint. Yeah, they really need to work on that. I'm sure there's some technical reason that I would never. That's way above my level of understanding as for why it's difficult to get the sort of blurring that I think is, you know, proper blurring for these art programs. The same sort of blurring that Critter has. And I think probably Photoshop too, where like every pixel is being mixed with every neighbour pixel. Just doesn't feel like that for this one, sadly. A little bit of purple in there and make it look like it's kind of like some kind of divot. I don't know. Let's get the eraser. I want to make that look a bit shallower. This person's painting like drawing like a whole statue. Should we up the size of the canvas? Let's do it. Right. What are we gonna do? So we're in 1920 by. It's basically 2K by 1K, isn't it? So that's 2K in it. We're gonna make it 4K. There you go. Boom. Boom. I changed the aspect ratio by accident. No. Why did it do that? Didn't I press the lock? I don't know. Why was this one double? That should be 4K and that should be 2K. Right? I think it's because I didn't press enter. Hopefully no one drew anything in that space. Above and below that I just deleted. Oh nice, someone's drawing a material ball up here. I love material balls. Jesus. I don't know what universe this bug's kind of from. Maybe that's a new universe that we can kind of start developing. That can be a start. I don't think we're going to develop anything with this guy in it though. I don't know. Maybe I could just draw a normal portrait from imagination. That can be fun sometimes, just like a headshot, you know. Well, you know what I wanted to do? Actually, I've got an idea for some kind of design that I want to make. I don't know why I don't just do the ones that I actually have ideas for, you know. Actually, I'm going to do it in this little patch. And it's going to be a rhino space guy. You see, because we've got space cats. She's one of the projects we're working on. I guess it's just a code name for now, but we got the cat. So I was thinking, what if I add different, some more different aliens in than the just the cats. So I'm just thinking some kind of rhinoceros type thing. Needs to have massive nostrils, but I want it to be kind of like scaly at the same time. I don't know which one's going to sort of win over. We'll see. It looks like a cow. No. I think I need to make it a bit more like a snake. In my head his neck was longer as well. Looks too much like a unicorn now. I'm going for kind of like a hippo, like a scaly hippo. She's eye on the other side, those. And they'll have kind of like split tongues and I don't know where the maybe it should be coming right out of their cheek or something like that. I don't know. I still kind of want some kind of horn on them, but I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off. Just doesn't look right for him. There's too many things at once. Yeah, and then obviously this is the top of his spacesuit. Something like that. I'm going to move it just a bit just to get out of the way of this statue guy. I want to give them as much space as they need. Move it a bit in with the other ones as well, really. Okay, so yeah, I wanted this to be kind of a green, scaly guy. Okay, the material ball I think has turned into either a planet or an atom. Interesting. Okay, that wasn't the way. I might tile this in a little bit. So I'm gonna sort of work in a kind of an oil painting type way. And you'll see I'll be picking a colour for each brush stroke individually, pretty much. Trying to apply them in places where I think, you know, they'll also need the colour. So exactly like oil paint, pretty much. It's probably how I should always paint, because it's quite efficient, especially colours wise. But obviously then it'll look like an oil painting and not a speed painting, so it kind of depends what you're going for, doesn't it? Oh man, there's no such thing as subtlety on this this colour picker. There you go. Needs to be a bit darker though actually, so I need to take the subtlety out again. Yeah, that's nice. I don't know though, is this, how efficient is this compared to more like speed painting? Where we're painting in all these little patches, these tiles, rather than painting the whole thing in green and then kind of editing that, which we would with speed painting. Speed painting is just taking advantage of, you know, painting over and over and over yourself in layers. Really, when it comes down to it. A bit darker down there, down around his jaw. You get something like that maybe? I don't know. Probably sneak a bit more of it back there. Okay, then we're gonna go a step brighter. And actually, we haven't been editing the values of this stuff we painted much today. Maybe we'll go back and play with them in a minute. Some of the other stuff. I think I'm going to be doing it pretty early with this guy because I've definitely gone with values that are a little bit too muggy, as I am one to do. Oh, I'm just going to get some of the brights in right now. Right here. That actually might be why as well, because I should probably start with the lights and the darks at the same time. Yeah, I just thought that sometimes you gotta come up with clever patterns with these specular highlights, and I think that little V shape there, I think that's gonna really kind of show the audience exactly the geometry that I'm trying to communicate. Just thinking if the main light source is going to be getting to these areas for the highlight. Let's give it a go. We just have to stretch some of this brightness down here as well with it. Right there on that part of the nose especially. I wonder if we'll get down to the scales. A bit like an alligator in the end, wasn't it? Well, yeah, that's the way it is. The cat one was actually me attempting to paint a chihuahua, completely from imagination. It turned out kind of looking like this alien thing, so I just sort of went with it. Yeah, I think I'm making his eye a bit too dipped in when really it should be kind of pushed out. Is that what I was doing? I think that's what I was doing. You can see it on that eye too. Bottom eyelid right there. More of a ledge on the bottom of his eye there should be then. I want that to be just a bit darker right there for some reason. Let's get some of the darkest darks in right now, so we can sort of see you know, see the full gamut of values, and as soon as we can do that, we can compare them together a little bit better and, you know, really start to reach the final values. Looks really friendly. Should be some big creases here in his neck, I feel like. And right under his chin should obviously be pretty dark. Right under there, right. I'm gonna do the sort of metal ring around his neck now, I think. It's kind of bluish grey for the. Just always use those. I just always use those same two values every time I do metal. It's always you know, this bright white and then this quite dark blue, bluey grey. So there you go. That's what we're getting once again. Those are the creases I was on about just then. I think they should just be dark. It's like inside of the helmet right there. And right there. And should we put him in a nice red spacesuit? Maybe red and blue. People are going to be really confused now, like, why is this person painting a green hippo in a big spacesuit? Or just in a big suit, I suppose. Probably can't even really tell it is a spacesuit off the bat. How much of it is cropped? I'm going to make the red less of a cherry red and more of a pink, bit of a less aggressive colour. A bit like that. Maybe we move this out of their way just a little bit more, even if sort of expanded. Move to there. I don't think I can give them much more space. Really nice, Ace. Wow, even this one's had some upgrades since I last kind of zoomed out and had a look around. Damn. Indeed. Wow, and this is growing. I didn't realise this person was still here. Break it, sorry. Not sure what that means, but it looks cool. It's kind of like it's like a planet, isn't it? It's nice. Where were we? Oh yeah, I was kind of adding some glare to this. Alright. It's good enough. Yeah, these will be like the kind of larger aliens. More big and kind of friendly maybe. Whatever universe this is that we end up making. Definitely look a bit like a hippo. But then again, the other aliens that we use look a lot like a cat, so kind of like that they sort of look plausible, biologically speaking still, and even kind of look like animals that we're familiar with. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I don't know why I I didn't just rub all of that outline out, really. Trying to paint with the rubber. There's more great specular reflection ideas just appearing, you know. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. Do we give him scales as well? I think he needs more pixels to be for us to give him some scales. Let's give him his eyes at least. Oh, so maybe a bit too large. That's maybe a bit too red. That's maybe a bit too bright. That's almost just right. Something like that. Make it a bit redder at the edges as well and around the corners. I'm gonna just glaze a bit more of the red on there in general, actually. I'm gonna give them some very dark blue eyes. Show that they are alien. And this eye is kind of going to be tricky with this amount of pixels, but yeah, something like that. The nose is obscuring it for the most part. I think that's about right. Sometimes I can pull it off with stuff that's like really, you know, wildly bent in the perspective. It's always the most satisfying, that one is, when you work them out. Well, there you go. We can maybe make this guy a little bit bigger and put some scales on him, I'm not sure. But yeah, kind of a green hippo alien we got so far. And we can see what the other painters have been getting onto. This guy's I think this is going to be like a fully detailed statue in the end, so I didn't realise he would start filling it in with value. We'll see how they get on with that over time. Right then, let me show you one of the biggest tricks in this piece of software with painting. And this I use in Krita quite often, but I was very happy when I found that it's been added to this. That is the filter settings. Alright, so we'll start with brightness and contrast. And yeah. We'll see. We might not be too far off anyway, but I've explained before, I kind of naturally paint when I do paint. Just a little bit dingy. And a little bit dark. Probably, I don't know, I could probably change my monitor settings or something to outbalance it, but it's just a natural tendency I have. I feel like you get it from speed painting a lot of the time. And kind of going straight in off of the mind. But yeah, so there you go. I always try to keep the brightness just a bit more than the contrast. I can roll it back just a tiny bit maybe and get away with it. It'll look a bit more natural. Yeah, there you go. You see, it looks like we just turned the light switch on. This looks a lot better. And a lot of times, you know, you can be painting something for ages, and you know, I've even published paintings and then realised, you know, I could have made it that much better just by going back and just fixing some of the and sometimes that'll knock some of the saturation out, so you see good to then add that back in. Now, how much better does that look than where it starts? Starts a bit more dingy. Now it's nice and bright and readable. And these, even though these don't look like they suffer from that same thing, I don't think I'm going to have a go on them because I've kind of shown the point. But even these probably, even when it doesn't look like it, you know, sometimes you can benefit from that. So that's just a little secret with this, especially for when you're speed painting, because you know it's hard to get that ultra nice color gambit, you know, when you're speed painting. Maybe it's just some kind of little thing that goes on in my brain when I paint. I'm not sure. Maybe I should tell myself to just try and paint more, you know, a bit more brighter and a bit more colourful and with a bit more sort of saturation than I usually do. Just that natural pulling force. It's like when I paint faces, sometimes it'll be the right eye that is you know, stretched in the same way, and I'll have to correct for it, and then I do another portrait, and you know, as much as I have that in mind, the eye still ends up stretched in that you know, in that exact same way. And sometimes I do just start to look out for things things that I continually kind of Freudianly do. Yeah, this person's still sticking to their Loomis method. They got it spot on there. Perfect shape on the this you know, the left-hand corner of the face. Right then, let's get on to the next painting. What should we paint? I haven't got too many crazy ideas rattling around in my brain tonight. Why don't we try just drawing one of these normal space computers that we do? I've kind of got an idea for one. I want one that's kind of like oh, and you know what? We can do some really glossy and reflective materials. Those can look so realistic and trippy sometimes. It's one of those things that when you paint it, it can kind of make it look you know, it's got a big illusory quality to it. One of those things that it can be hard to tell how, you know, something was even painted at that point. Really reaches a nice kind of level of realism. Okay, then we're going to put something like a keyboard, maybe around here. Oh, I just love the I think I'm going to put a stripe here. Sometimes I like to do that. I love the retro-futuristic design aspect to this. I'm going to go with the normal double joysticks right here. This is going to look extra alien. I think this one is. Just not sure how I'm going to foot it to the ground just yet. I want it to still look nice and kind of globular. Yeah, something like that. Bit of a snail's foot. There you go. So I like how it's kind of like leaning forwards at you with the screen. I think the screen should be larger though, just a little bit. I could select it and make it larger, but we'll just paint around it. It doesn't matter. We're going to be painting all over this whole thing anyway. Yeah, that's nice. And I think just some vents here, something a little bit like that to add some detail. Looks a bit like a minion, doesn't it? Should we add anything on top of it? I feel like sometimes these look better with a hat. Sometimes I put like a little screen up there. We'll leave it for now. What I want to do though is kind of de-minionize the screen, not gonna lie. I'm gonna knock some of the minionness off of the screen. There we go, just a big rubber there. Yeah, the way I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the screen a little bit taller. I don't think I did a very good job there, so I ended up just kind of erasing a little bit more of it. There you go, a bit more of an egg-shaped screen. Glass coming out of it like that. Right, let's get to painting, We can do a lot of this shaping that we do, you can do in painting anyway. Oh, where do we start? Okay, I'm going to start with a nice, almost greeny, you know, kind of turquoisey. It's going to be like the brighter areas. I don't know if I'm going to make it slightly blue or slightly green. I think I'll make it slightly blue. So I'm going to come to the kind of more shadowy areas. Get just that blue down there. And we're going to make it just a little bit brighter. Maybe I should get a little panel brung back with the colour selector. I'll have to line it up for Critter, but it might be useful. Yeah, this is kind of a middle value though. This or maybe just a little bit bright, you know. Just working out of the shadows. Okay, and of course it's just going to be kind of things facing vaguely up, but I do also have sort of an idea in mind of where exactly the lighting's going to be. It's pretty much up, so it's pretty much up. Okay, just some brightness there, getting caught on the shoulders. And yeah, we'll make this look really glossy and shiny and have loads of pin lights. This is one of the things I enjoy painting most, and I have quite a bit of experience in now, just painting these kind of retro futuristic space computer designs. I can describe them as. But yeah, it's kind of just like a computer console that you'd use on some kind of futuristic spaceship. This one's a bit different to how I usually do them. This one's quite unique. So it's nice to have some streams like this, like today, where I sort of go out the box and just do some doodling and, you know, sort of mess around with it. We painted some strange stuff. I've sort of been shaking the rust off today, actually. I don't know if I've streamed in a couple of days, so getting right back on it, and we're doing some weird stuff, you know. A lot of people think these computers that I paint look like, I was saying it looks a bit minion-y then, but a lot of people actually say these look like, what's it called, Among Us. I don't know. I didn't play much of that when it was a craze. Let's go with a cool shaped highlight here. Something like you know, like there's kind of a circular light in the roof like that. And we'll continue that highlight. We should give it some little bit of glaze like that and make it look more real. And seeing as they are actual literal lights, something a bit like that maybe. Ooh, look at that, instant. See where we're taking us. Okay then, I think this needs to be a bit brighter. Remember, we are kind of painting a room in this, but it doesn't have to be much more than really kind of an abstract thing. You don't have to have a, you know, a super strong idea of the room. I'm just doing random stuff now. This what I want to do is just do some reflections that are kind of stuck to the edges of the screen. That's where all of them are going to be kind of pulled out. They're going to be pulled out to this way, and that's why everything kind of on the edge is going to be really squeezed together, and the stuff in the middle is going to be a little bit more, you know, it will be a little bit less warped. The more it goes to the edge of the screen, the more of that warping effect of the reflection there is. We're also going to try to get a bit of a blurry feel on these. I think that's probably what they're missing. Let's try the blur brush that I don't normally get along with, but it might work just for doing the inside edge of these. You still want the outside to be quite sharp. See that? The stuff in the middle of the screen is typically going to be blurrier than the stuff on the outside. We've now made the screen way more realistic than the rest of the thing, which isn't really something we should do. We've kind of outbalanced the detail here. We let ourselves get tunnel visioned. Now, if we need to change this screen in future, it's going to look a bit strange. But yeah, we'll see. Let's get the rest in. I just kind of got sucked into it, you know. Okay. And I wanted a stripe colour here too. Let's not forget that. But we'll probably paint that in, you know, with the paint. Lovely jubbly. Oh, ready for something really satisfying. We're going to do this chrome controls here. Like I said not long ago, actually, we're going to go with some yellow for this. Like I said not long ago, a little bit less saturated maybe. Excuse me. What was I saying not long ago? I always use the same two values for this chrome color that I always do. And these controls that I'm gonna do a very bright outline, because like I said, the highlights and stuff like on this screen kind of get sucked to the edges, so it really is going to be the edges that kind of catch all the brightness, especially on something that wraps around so tightly as these kind of round controls here. And we're going to do some controls in the middle too. Right, it's always these same two values. It's always the kind of very bright, almost white, and the bluish dark grey. It's just them two fighting together, and it's that, you know, that extreme contrast that makes it look like chrome. You know, between the very dark and the very bright value. Those two values, especially because you go in with a two value approach and you don't even really paint much of the middle ones, you will end up with the chromium you seek. A bit like that. I'm just going to blur the brightness a bit. There you go. You see, that's kind of bringing it into life there. Here we go. Could do with some more work on the darker bits. You see, it's slowly starting to kind of flash in. Looks like very dramatic lighting, maybe more dramatic lighting than the screen is showing even. You can make it match this screen a little bit more. I think at the tops. Oh, I didn't mean to reverse twice then, but yeah, I think the top should be a bit brighter. Maybe the top where this is kind of facing up, just a little bit brighter, and the dark shape really wants to be around here. Make it match that one over there a little bit more, match its brother a bit more. Lovely. I'm going to just tighten up these edges as well. These control, what are they called? Like arcade sticks almost. Can't remember what they're called. Joysticks. These joysticks. A little bit too large. It doesn't matter. It's too small of a detail. We're getting what is it? Tunnel vision so much today. Let me just repair that one a little bit. As soon as I just covered it in blue paint. There we go. Right, we're going to carry on making this the general shell of this computer look nice and glossy. It's going to be very satisfying. Shall I make this a bit like a sink drain and put a bit of chrome on it maybe? I don't normally put chrome on the vents. I usually have them just be straight up cutouts. But I'm feeling adventurous, so let's do it. I want kind of like a divot shape as well, if I can explain it. Kind of like, you know, that shape, kind of like divoted in. So what we're going to do, we just sort of flip it. So we're going to go with that. Well, we can literally just color pick from here even, and it's going to be the top that's dark rather than the bottom. So we've just flipped it, and that's what's going to make it look like it's a bit pushed in rather than popped out, if that makes sense. The ultimate dilemma. The bottoms might even catch like a bit of a highlight right on the rim there, you see. And I might put a bit of a highlight on the rim up here as well to kind of suggest that it's sticking out a little bit. It might look a bit finished if I do that actually. And a shadow on the bottom will complete that. Okay. Just needs playing with a little bit now to make it look right, if that makes sense, you know. I think the darkest part should probably be right in the middle. Not right in the middle, but on to the middle and off to the right. Somewhere there, yeah. And then the holes are going to be something like... They're going to be stretched, aren't they? Which will look even nicer. And that one's got to be thinner because it's kind of bent up like that. Is that too much contrast? That is too much contrast. Right. Now this is where an important learning comes in the world of art and in life in general. Sometimes simpler is better, you know. And also being sentimental. There's sentimentalism in art. It's often, especially in the kind of more industrial realms of art, the sentimentality is you can grow as an artist if you're less sentimental about things, and if you can just paint over them like that. So it means you can move on, you know. And anything that I've painted once, you know, I can paint again, and every time I paint it again, it'll be better because I've had more practice. Something you do kind of have to learn to see your work for the end goals, you know. Oh, I am struggling. You know what? I've got a secret. I've figured it out. I have figured it out. Low contrast vents. So the problem with those vents and why I painted over them and destroyed them, my own creation, is because they were just way too high contrast. And those vents I was just deleting as well because they were too high contrast. But I have a secret way to make the vents less high contrast. This is a little secret, right? You do the vents as kind of like that. Kind of like one of those fancy modern drains. You do them so that they're kind of like a rounded, you know? Okay, that one wasn't very, that wasn't the best shape. But because, I'm just going to edit it after the fact. I think it's something to do with my hand. Because we just do the thinner line on the outside, that does actually, I'm going to do them again, but that does actually, just drawing a little template for myself maybe, lowers the contrast. Contrast is so important, so important. Oh, right, come on, we can do it. 17th time's the charm, come on. Need it to kind of wrap round. Oh, that was good. I shouldn't have pressed set on that one. Something like that? Yeah, I think something like that. Right, we got it. These are the trials and tribulations of the search. That's what it's called, the search. When you're just searching. So much in speed painting is the search. When you're just searching for just the right way something should look. We get away with 4. I think I just want to do the 3. Something like that. Does that work? Right, I can move that around. I can work with that. I think I want to just make that a little bit shorter there. Okay. And we can put one there. And a tiny one there. Just like a hint of it, really. And then we can grab it. Oh, this tool isn't acting how I thought it would. Why is it not working? Yeah, this is the lasso tool, but it's not working at all. Not sure. I just oh, there you go. I fixed it. Okay. Yeah, let's just size these up to fit on it. I think they should be a bit larger. The beauties of digital painting. Something like that. Too big now, too big. That's too big. Yeah, I know it looks blurry as well, but I think it'll go clear when I press enter, or at least I'm hoping it does. Oh, enter doesn't mean enter apparently. There you go. Nope, it didn't. It stayed blurry. Oh well. We can mask over that, and as we paint on it as well, we'll get it looking nice and sharp and detailed again. Okay, again, we may be just going a bit too far into detail though, because I should have done those vents last. I'm absolutely rusty today. Let's get a bit of silhouette work in at least. Right, we're going to finish this this glossiness. I promised satisfying reflective glossiness, so I'm going to provide. We're going to make the whole thing look kind of at the level of the screen now. No more waiting, no more dilly-dallying. Okay, so what we do in this kind of works on two stages or levels, you could call them. I kind of blended them together in my head there. You do a blurry kind of stage where it's lit more as if it were a matte object, but you know, very, very blurry. And then, and you can even do this a little bit early if you like. Here it's already pretty bright, but you do a highlight stage, and the highlights obviously are a lot sharper, more pinpoint, and also I think on something like this, which is mostly kind of a white colour. Notice how I do a highlight right here to make it kind of look like there's a bit of a hood over the screen, like it's sticking out a little bit. Same down here, a little bit of a highlight just at the bottom of the screen there. Okay, should we get that same pattern in here then? I should have done it up there actually. We'll add it up there. I think the pattern's going to be here as well, but it's going to be warped. How many points are there? Okay. It's going to be something like that, isn't it? No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be more like this. Yeah, does that look right? Does that feel right? It's going to be one right there too. And then of course we just slaver, and there's no secret to this. We just slaver it in highlights, and you can find some really fun shapes. I like to do kind of donut shapes, circle shapes a lot, especially when you do like a highlight at the top and bottom like that. That can work well. It helps as well if you do different colours of these pin lights. So this is more of a purple, right? And we can add, you know, the extra bright parts too. We can even add like a different value for the extra bright parts and make them look really cool. You can do them thicker as well. There's styles where you can get away with doing them a lot thicker. But I think doing the thin ones is really nice because it really adds like a kind of a level of realism that's nice. Kind of throws people through a bit of a loop. It really does look like quite convincingly like kind of like a porcelain or glossy kind of car paint sort of look to it. I'd like to paint some more sort of futuristic vehicles actually in future. That's probably something that I don't do enough. So yeah, I've just got a few of those pin lights in for now. We'll drown it out with even more, probably way more than we've put down so far, but that's just for me to get a kind of feel of it, and you'll see I'll kind of paint over some of them as well as I go. Again, you got to sort of learn to, in art, especially in digital art, that's another reason why you've got to sort of learn to not be sentimental, because a lot of speed painting, you know, like I've said before, the essence of speed painting, digital speed painting particularly, is painting over, is using the overwrite. You know, in digital, unlike anything else, you can overwrite infinitely. You can paint over something again and again and again. And you know, you can't be sentimental to use that that particular process. You know, it's literally like some kind of a paradox, right? Should check on what everyone else has been doing. Yeah, I think it's kind of had its heyday. It seems like there's a bit of a bell curve with these, where loads of people join and then sort of thins out. A few people that joined from the start stay for a long time. This statue looks really nice. Wish we kind of tuned in with them a few times while they were doing the shading, so we can see the parts in the middle. Yeah, the free sketches that we've got done so far. I think this is probably going to be a bit more finished than these ones are. These were just me shaking the rust off, really. Although, like I said, this guy we might turn into a proper alien for our kind of alien fantasy universe that we're building at the moment. Right then, shall we try on this computer? It's a little bit early for it. But shall we try? Probably never too early, I don't know. The filters. Right then. Brightness und contrast. Like I say, we tried to make the brightness just a bit more than the contrast. I think we pushed that a bit too far. Oh, that's looking nice though. Let's see how that looks. See how it looks like the light switch just got turned on? I think a bit less. Somewhere like there, maybe. Yeah, there you go. It just doesn't look as gloomy. I like this, oh, excuse me, sorry, I just took a massive drink. I was just drank like most of a pint of water. Alright, Oh, excuse me. Right, yeah, I like how they had this preview button so you can kind of see forward and back. See, that's just a bit more colour for us to work with. Ah, actually, you know what, I've got some extra fun to look at as well, you know. This is called colour abstraction, and it's something that absolutely, the realism of your paintings it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? Let me just get the values just a bit darker in some of these areas. And we'll work in some of this colour abstraction, and I'll show a bit of a demonstration of what colour abstraction does for your painting. This is like the pin lights. It is insane in its ability to. Oh, look how nice this is looking as we get in the dark areas, and it's. Woohoo! Look at that. It looks that's looking nice and reflective, isn't it? Right. Let me creep that up here. Let me just try that. Actually. Yeah, that looks right. Isn't that looking right? Oh, I'm right in there. Damn. See, it's all just about experimenting as well. I think we should make a lot of this stuff around the middle a little bit darker. I think that's the lesson here. And this is actually kind of setting the perfect groundwork for colour abstraction, as I was just saying. Just gonna get this sorted just before. There you go. So a bit like that. I think I'm gonna go and make this part of its quote-unquote head a bit brighter. Right, in colour abstraction, what we want to do, this is the simplest way I can put it. You want to grab the colour of somewhere, so maybe here. You want to grab that, and then you can't see my colour selector, but you just take it somewhere random in the hue. You know, the circle that surrounds the square, you're using the circle, and you're gonna make it a random hue. So I've made it kind of like purple. And then you want to play with the brightness and the saturation so that it's about the same value as the area you took it from. So here you can see it's a bit too dark. I'm going to make it a bit less saturated and a bit brighter. See, it's kind of getting to the same value, but it's a completely different chroma. And we'll get it to blend in as best we can. And I'm kind of shaking the rust off here. Usually I can get it in only a try or two. Basically getting it to look as close as you can get it. And I might actually try and bring it into more saturation even. Maybe that'll fit in here. And you're just trying to change the... So I'll grab a little bit here and maybe I'll make it more like a yellow or a yellowy green. And that's all it is. You're trying to change the chroma, the hue, as it's also called, without changing the value of what's there, and that's it. You're just trying to change that one detail of what you're painting, and you'll see once you do that, it looks like what it ends up looking like is that it's taking I think this one I did a little bit too harshly. It ends up taking it looks like it's taking all these different colors from the environment, you know, like there's all different colored things around it that it's kind of sampling from. Sometimes you can get away with just abstracting, you know, 2 or 3 colors as well. I like this electric sort of green that's already naturally up here, you know, actually. Now that I'm pointing it out, I've already got some color abstraction up here with this nice green, so I've got to spread that. Yeah, in the brighter areas. Yeah, you see, we just put some green over there instead of the blue. And you know what, it just, along with just making your painting look more colourful, because of what I was just explaining, where it looks like it's kind of reflecting different things in the environment, it will make it look more realistic too. There's also an area where it will make it realistic because I feel like if you look like a camera image and if you just get a picture that you've taken, you've seen I had like a chroma slider earlier, a saturation slider, sorry, that would make it, you know, more or less saturated. If you get like a random photo and you bump the saturation up all the way, what you'll see is loads of random, you know, loads of random colours like purples and stuff on people's faces where you wouldn't expect or wouldn't have thought that it would be, and that's because there is that level of colour abstraction in the photograph that a camera takes, and I think that the image that your eye sees really. where things are, you know, are all different chromas, all different hues that you wouldn't expect. And that's why I think that's part of why it just looks so darn good in a lot of these paintings. Go for a purple on something just round about that area. Oh, I'm on the rubber. Oh, the eraser, sorry. There you go. Oh, and that is a nice purple, actually. Yeah, it's kind of like a violet, isn't it? We've kind of gone through to get aero here with the colour abstraction of this, actually. I think it looks nice. I'm going to get kind of a darker area under this brim. But yeah, obviously I've used this colour abstraction here a little bit more. You can go a lot more subtle on it and you'll get more of a realistic effect. I've kind of gone for literal oil spill level of colour abstraction, because that's kind of what it is. It's just a little bit of like an oil spill texture. I'd recommend trying out different subtleties of it as well. I've gone in this demonstration probably like the whole hog on it. I think it looks cool though. It looks a bit like a bubble, you know, like an actual bubble. A bubble wand. See if we can get the edges nice and sharp. Yeah, we probably worked on this for about half an hour, 40 minutes now. This computer right here, but I can spend up to about 2.5, 3 hours. I love this, by the way, I love this compression that happens sometimes when you play with the filters. I know it's like a digital thing, but I just love the way it looks. It looks even more fruit to get aero, you know. But can't even remember what I was saying. It kind of matter too much, eh? See, I'm just doing a little bit of the darker blue in there to really make it look like it is a highlight on just a bit of the lip. Let me try and draw it out for you for easily seeing it. It's kind of going like that. Does that make sense? There's like a little lip going out from the screen. See it on here as well. It's kind of going like that. Oh yeah, I think that makes it look super retro-y. It's a big part of the retro in the retrofuturism. The way we can make this look even more reflective and even better now, the best thing we can do is start to really, like we've already started doing under here, widen the value range. Which means, because we've already mostly got the brighter ends, we're going to be doing the darker stuff. I like that. Don't know why I quite like that. I might change it a little bit brighter down there. I think there should be a bit of a dark patch here now then. This is just a big material ball, remember? Just a big material ball, that's all it is. I'm really just thinking of the way that the different surfaces are facing. I could probably do an actual material ball off to the side as well. I do that sometimes when I'm painting these on stream. I paint from the material ball and I kind of even colour pick from the material ball sometimes. Now, remember we explained the rule earlier as well, how the highlights, the specular highlights especially and stuff, kind of get sucked to the edges of rounded, reflective surfaces. What you'll get as well is called the Fresnel effect, which is just a general... well, I was going to do this one first, so I've got that value. I'll show you on here first, but it will be on the screen too. Just general brightness on these kind of horizons of rounded, reflective objects, and what that's called is Fresnel effect. I think there's a few ways it can kind of be caused, or there's an effect that's very similar to it that I don't know if it has a name. I don't know what to call it. But even with even with non-reflective things, you'll see things that are Fresnel effect like. Now we can do some clever shape design here to kind of show this interaction a little bit more eloquently. And that is, we can get a highlight on here, we can have it carry on down there. So you can kind of see who's boss, who's in front of who in that area. I haven't pulled it off very well though, so we're going to have another try at that. Yeah, something more like that, something softer. I'll put just a few little specks in it just to really make it look reflective. Maybe this hippo guy could have used some more reflections. I don't know. Felt like there was a bit too high contrast for him. People are still filling out this canvas space, although I think I'm going to leave it at that. Because I think this is probably going to be the lifespan of this this art gem. Pretty much. And it's already 4K on one axis, I think. Oh, big part of this is trying to get rid of this this outline that we've got. And then we're really working with the genuine silhouettes of the machine, you know. Fit and finish does more than you think sometimes. It's just part of the one of the. Maybe that's one reason to not work on one layer, I guess. But I just like working on one layer, you know. It makes my painting experience feel a little bit more organic. See, I always do that. It's because in Critter, when you select a colour with the colour picker, it automatically puts you onto the paintbrush. I think it does that on Procreate too. Hint to the Magma dev team. Little improvement there. Should we do some more super satisfying reflections then? We can definitely sneak some around here. I'll do kind of an extended donut like that. And put some random ones in some places. In random shapes too. Just make sure to kind of mirror them sometimes when you've got sort of a mirrored shape. Now just make it look even more godly, you know what I mean? You will impress all of your friends. This one simple trick. Yeah, just wherever it's a similar shape, just remember similar shape, similar reflection. Looks kind of beachy. Look, it looks a bit like something out of SpongeBob almost. I feel like this does. Oh, we're going really dark here. I don't know why I have the urge to paint the either side of this a bit darker like that. It just feels right. It does look right. This is where we've got to be careful. This is the tough part where we're now making the like I said, we're making it more and more contrasting. Paint the bottom of this just a little bit darker here even. I think it should be, you know, I think it's about time actually. The bottom of it got a little bit darker. I don't know quite how to paint it right in that little gap there. It turns round at the snail's foot. Should we try making this cap just a bit darker? No, we was liking the green. Right, now that we've darkened it, you ready for this? We're gonna run the filters, yes. Are we ready? Maybe a bit too much. See that? See, even though we did it earlier, doing it, and I wish I could explain this. Why does doing it earlier, why do we then do it again and again? It looks like we are just flicking the light switch on, you know? Like, how has it undone itself since we did it the last time even? I don't know if it's something to do with the way I kind of progress with my values and I get the darker and darker ones in. Let's see what saturation does for us. This is going crazy. This is the material. It really looks so trippy. Like super soft material. This material is even easier to make when you've got the like a proper proper smudge brush, proper blur brush. That is deep fried now. That's been nuked. I said I liked the the way the compression looked earlier, but that is just like beyond recognition. The amount of nuking that's happened to that. Jesus. I don't even know how to save that. I kind of like it though, you know what? I'm going to leave it. I think I'm just going to, oh my god. Sorry. Oh, it's because I needed to move the mouse. I'm having technical difficulties off the side of the... Trying to pick a colour and a banner keeps coming up right under my mouse. Okay. That was quite the... Oh, that is not the paintbrush that I thought it was. That was the... That was Liquify. Yeah, I'm just going to smooth this over just a tiny bit. Oh my god. Smooth brush is unwieldy. There you go. Wow. That screen really looks like it's just been pushed into the bodywork of the machine. Exaggerate it even more. Like I say, I could probably spend a couple more hours on this painting of this computer. I might move on to the next one. And just one more little half-hour painting for the night, maybe. Might have taken it too far then, actually. Sorry, I was just drinking. We'll leave it. But yeah, I could go darker again. Probably. Get away with it, you know. Wow, that's really gonna, it's gonna be very dramatic doing that. See how we've come up with so many nice abstract patterns as well. Oh my god, that looks crazy. Wow. It's really dramatic now. I still think that's a bit on the nose though. Just a little bit of that maybe. And I think the head is still just a little bit bright. Something like that. Right then. Well, that's about 1.5 hours anyway, so probably decent enough. And I'll try and be back on over the next 2 days as well. I don't know if I'll be doing some more art jams like this, or probably doing some painting on our actual projects. But yeah, we will be back. We'll be back. And all in all, this has been a pretty nice art jam. Some really nice art we've seen on here. It looks awesome. I like the shoe as well. It's great, that is. Oh yeah. Nice time. Alright then. I'm going to